composite figures. So a composite figure is made up of two or more shapes. So we can find the area by adding or subtracting the area of each shape. So we're going to look at this first one. So the overall shape, as you see, is this right here. So we're going to look at each individual shape. So first we're going to look at this rectangle. If we use our formula chart, we're going to see that it says area equals base times height. So in this case, my base would be my 7 meters and my height is 2 meters. So I would say area equals 7 times 2. And what would that be? 14. So my area is 14 meters squared. Now I'm going to look at the area of this rectangle. So again, my area is base times height. And my base would be 12 and my height would be 10. So that would be 12 times 10, which would be 120 square meters. So when I put this together, if you notice, right here, I've got this part right here. Here it is right here. But the whole thing would be this right here. I know this coloring is beautiful, but I don't have that middle part. So what happens is I have to get rid of this middle part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract these numbers. So if this is 14 square meters and this is 120 square meters, I'm going to subtract them. So 120 minus 14 would be 106. So this would be the area of the shaded area would be 106 square meters. So now we're going to look at this shape right here, and I want to know the area of the shaded region. So I'm going to look at each part separately. So I'm going to start with the rectangle. So with the rectangle, the formula for rectangle would be area equals base times height. And in this case, my base is 14 and my height is 9. So my base would be 14. And you don't have to write this part, but I do want you to take the time to write it plugged in. So writing with your values plugged in. So A equals 14 times 9. So I'm going to do 14 times 9. So 4 times 9 is 36. 9, 10, 11, 12 would be 126. So the area of that is 126 square meters. Now I'm going to find the area of the square. Since it's a square, its base and its height are the same thing. So I'm going to come over here. That's going to still be area equals base times height. So that would be area is, they're both 5. So 5 times 5. So that would be what? 25. So that's 25 square meters. So to find the area of just the shaded region, if I know that this part right here is 25 and this whole thing is 126, if I go ahead and subtract that, so let me subtract that, we're going to do 126 minus 25, and we're going to get 101 square meters. Okay, we're going to look at this next one. Now we have two shapes. We have a triangle and a rectangle. It does not matter which one you do first. But let's say I do the rectangle first. Take the time to look at your formula chart. Even if you're like, I got this, still look at it. So it would be area equals base times height. And I can see that that is 12 and 10. So area equals 12 times 10. So that would be 120. So that's 120 square feet. And now I'm going to find the area of the triangle. Remember, when I'm looking for my base and height of the triangle, your base and height must make a right angle. So this is showing me the height and the base. So that would be 7 and 6. So this is a triangle. What does our formula chart say? Our formula chart says area equals 1/2 base times height. But we've talked about that's the same thing as, because multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. So that's base times height divided by 2. Either one works. It's the exact same thing. Just to me, it's a little bit easier to do base times height divided by 2. So the base, let me go back over here. We have 6 and the height would be 7. So I would say area equals 6 times 7 divided by 2. Don't forget the divided by 2 because that's where everyone makes the mistake. If I can go ahead and like multiply it and then divide by 2, or I can go ahead and just like simplify it now. 6 divided by 2 would be 3, so that's 3 and that's 1. So that's just 3 times 7, which is 21. So that's 21 square feet. So to find the area of only the shaded part, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 120 minus 21. So I want you to do that. What do you get? You should have gotten 99 square feet. Okay, now I'm going to look at example 3. If you notice, I have two triangles. So this first one that I'm looking at, it's really this whole big thing. Okay, so I'm going to basically find the area. I've got the large triangle and then a small triangle. So I'm going to start with my large triangle. So looking at my formula, its area equals 1/2 base height. But we've said that, again, that is the same thing as base times height divided by 2. So I can see, looking at this, that my base is 15 and my height is 10. So I can say area is 15 times 10 divided by 2. I'm going to go ahead and divide now just to make it easier. So 10 divided by 2, that'd be 5. So now I have 15 times 5, which is what? You should have said 75. So 75 centimeters squared. But that is not my answer. That's the entire triangle, as if nothing was gone. So now I'm going to look at the smaller triangle. Again, that is area equals base times height divided by 2. And I can see that I have a base of 12 and a height of 5. So area equals 12 times 5 divided by 2. Again, I can go ahead and make it easier by simplifying now. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 6 times 5 is 30 square centimeters. So what I'm going to do now, because I have 75 was the whole thing and 30 of it was cut out, obviously this is not drawn to scale, I am going to go ahead and subtract these. So I'm going to do 75 minus 30 is 45 centimeters squared. So my answer is B. Now I want you to try this last one on your own, and then once you're done, we will go over it. Okay, the first shape was a parallelogram, which is area equals base times height. So I can see right here that here's the base is 8, and the height, it's showing with a right angle. So if this is 8, this is 8, it's showing you the right angle. So it's showing it outside of the shape. It could have shown it inside the shape, like right here. Okay, it's the same thing. So my area, the base is going to be 8 and the height is going to be 6. So 8 times 6. Remember, this is not divide by 2. Okay, it's not a triangle, it's not a trapezoid, it is just a parallelogram. So that would be 48 square feet. So there's your answer. No, that's not your answer. That is just the parallelogram, but it's taking the square out. So the square, your area is base times height. Your base is 3 and your height is 3. So that would be 3 times 3, which is 9 square feet. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract those. So I'll do 48 minus 9. And you should get 39 square